Excellent, excellent. Now, one question about your first customer. I know you said you had worked on projects, but your first customer that you got as your new business, who was that and how'd that come about?
It was Kashif.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was the very first person I worked for, and it was because of Sabrina. And she said, work for. And I went. I remember I had to go to his home, and he worked. He had a home office. He had a whole studio, just everything because he's Kashif. So he had everything, and he had a beautiful home in Marina Del Rey. And it took me a minute to find it because it was like in the cut. So I was like, oh my goodness, where is it? It wasn't, matter of fact, it wasn't even on Google Maps. It would only take you so far that I had to call him. But it was really good that he was used to it because of where he lived. He knew it was not going to be hard. So I sat down, met him, and he told me what he wanted, what he needed to be done. And I took notes, and I worked for him. And even though the project started off at 2 months, it ended up to be like maybe 4 months because he needed more done. So that was a 4 month project, and that was my very first client was Kashif.
Yeah, excellent. Now,
Yeah.
after that, obviously you didn't rest on your laurels. How did you build from that? What did you start doing? Was it word of mouth,
Yeah,
marketing?
yeah, that's what you do. Once I talked to her, and then what I did was all the people that I knew that I helped along the way. I said, "This is what I'm doing," and I started with record label people. So I started with record label publicists because at that time, very few of us were actually going on our own because we were all inside. Because most of the people that I know now, we start off as assistants together.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have their own firms. Now they're working. Now they're doing everything, and that's why we're still friends today. Because we remember when we were both assistants and we were talking to each other like, "Okay, I got to go. My boss is coming." Those are kind of friends I have now, and so I ended up just starting my own business. Is because I needed to be paid, and they told me how to do it, and they just kind of helped me along the way.
Excellent. Now, what would you say helped you build your credibility, even though you had a long history?
Yeah.
But what helped you build it now that you kind of was out on your own?
You have to keep your word. In this business, your word is your bond, and your reputation. That's all you have. Because as publicists, we call flags, flunkies, anything but my client. But you have to build a rapport not only with your contemporaries, but the media. The media they have to have some level of trust in you. If they don't trust you, then that's not going to work. They're not going to return your phone calls because we work with talent bookers, executives, managers, publicists, other inside publicists as well to really help them to go, okay, she's good for her word, she does what you say, and I'm not a yes person. If it's not going to work, I'll let you know. I'm not going to be dogmatic about it, but I'm going to let you know. In my experience, there's a way to soften it up. There's a way to sweeten the pot, so they'll know. No, we're not going to do it. And I've had many clients now listen to my advice. It happens, but then they'll come back and go, I should have listened to you. I go, yeah. I don't say that loud,
Right.
but I go, yeah. But they appreciate the not saying I told you so. But you have to have trust, and you have to be loyal. They don't have to be loyal to you, but you have to be loyal to them because the only person you're responsible for is you. It's not what everybody else. Because I've had clients that we parted ways and it hasn't been really nice, but they refer somebody else to me. Because like I said, it's all about your word and your bond. You have to say what you mean and mean what you say. And so when I say yes, it's yes. When I say no, and I'll even go and say maybe. And when I tell clients like this is how we're going to do it, a lot of them listen and a lot of them don't. But that's the way the business is. But you have to be. And I've learned like from time like you can't really sugarcoat things with artists because they take you at your word and they think that their record, their shoes, their whatever product is the best, and you have to be. We're not going to go here yet. Everything is baby steps, and PR is not quick and it's not fast. It's a slow moving train, but once that train starts going, you better be on it. And I always tell people that I said it's slow and steady because even now I take accounts. I used to take accounts at 3 months. I don't do that anymore. I don't do that anymore because it takes that long to set stuff up. So I take clients 4 to 6 months, and I prefer clients 6 months because in that time it gives time to do what you need to do. You need to build up the press. And then sometimes they come naked, meaning they have nothing. They have no documents. They have no press release. They have no bio. They have no photos. They have nothing, but they give you 3 months. Like no, you have to talk real to them because at this point, there's like you can't sugarcoat anything anymore. They go, well, I want to be on James Crowley. No, you can't do TV. You can. I couldn't. I was representing Boyz II Men. We couldn't get them on David Letterman. They had a #1 album. So what makes you think that you just in the business emerging, not new? They like the word emerging. What makes you think that you can get on David Letterman and I couldn't get Boyz II Men on David Letterman? No, and I'm not really brutal honest, but I'm honest enough to know that to go. I say, you know what? That's not going to happen right now. What we need to do, we need to build up. We need to create a buzz. And once they hear that, that's fine. But they give you a time to build to create the buzz. And I said, it's not on me. You are the product. I'm selling the product. You are the product. So I would say if people don't like it, it's because they don't like what they're hearing, seeing, or whatever the product is. So, and a lot of them, they want to blame you, but I tell them, and the bottom line is you. But I don't say it like that. But I just let them know that it's you. Like, you are the person. I'm the salesperson. I'm your salesperson. I'm your pitch person. I'm your spokesperson. I speak for you, and I believe in you. I'm at a point where I don't take any client that I don't believe in. If I don't believe in you, I don't take you. Because it's just, nothing is worth the hassle of you calling me every day asking me what's going on. I just can't. I used to. But at this point, this stage, no. That can't happen.
Makes sense. Now, what would you say is the smartest thing you did or have done to grow your business?
Smart. Listen to other people who've done it before. Listening. You have to develop the art of listening. You have to learn how to listen. And you have to know you don't know everything. And so once you do that and learn to listen and to see, and take heed when people do something good and take heed when somebody does something not so good. And that's what I do. And I'm not the jealous type. I'm always like, and I'm always happy when somebody gets an account, when somebody does something, and I look at it and go, I can do that too. And I go, how did they do it? What did you do? What did you do? And I look at it like that. Like, what can it do? I turn it around. If they can do it, tell me what you did. Because people are not going to exactly tell you what they did, but they're going to give you an idea. And so that's where you spring it from. You have to listen. You have to listen. You have to know you don't know everything. And so that's what I do to clients. I tell them, I said, I don't know everything, but I do know enough that we're going to make this account work. And if you see something, if you hear something, you let me know, and then I'll follow up on it. Because like I said, I don't know everything. And I know you better than I know you. So you tell me what you like, you tell me what you don't like, and you tell me what you want, and I go from there. I don't like just create things. I create things with you in mind. So if you like it, if you don't want to do it, then that's a problem sometimes. But if you want to do it, we have it. And I always try to make my clients understand this is why you have to do something. So when you tell a client that they have to do this, you have to go comma, and you're doing it because. And you're doing it because. Because if you just tell them, that's like a parent talking to them, and they're not gonna listen. But if you say, listen, we need to do Jay Leno because down the line we're gonna want him to do this, and then they go, oh. And I learned that from one of my clients that told me, he goes, tell me why I'm doing it. I'm like, okay. And I've always done it, but he really made me understand, like, you need to tell me why I'm doing it, and then I'm good. That was when I was representing Chris Tucker. He listens, and I love him as a client because he's a listener, and he's really subdued when you meet him, but when he's on, but he's really funny, and he's loyal too. He's loyal to his people and his publicists, because I worked for him for 2 years, and I saw it, and he was a really good client. He was a really good client.
Excellent, yeah. Very nice. Now, this matter you brought up about the art of listening, who would you say are your role models or your mentors that you listen to the most? Would you
listen to? In the business, it's others who've done it before. Now, there's Terry Williams, who is extremely good at what she does, and she taught me what not to do and what to do, because we worked on a project together, and she just said, this is how you do it, and this is what you don't do. And then just personally, just my parents, first of all, telling me, because they're brutal, like brutal honesty, which is you like it, but you don't like it. But I know that it's, and back in the day, I was like, ugh. But now I truly appreciate everything they said, everything. Even my grandmother, even though, she's not with us anymore, but in the back of, I always hear them. I always say, do this. And then one of the things what keeps me going and makes me, know that I can do it is something my dad told me. He said, you're a smart girl, you can do it. And that's all you need. You need just like maybe a one line, but for business-wise, it's Terry and others who've done it before. And then they don't have to be older than me. We can be contemporaries. And the fact that your career could be a little bit further than mine, but it is what it is. But like I said, just watching and listening. Watching and listening, and sometimes just being quiet is like the best thing.
That's true. So with that, having individuals in the industry and outside, how have you been able to create partnerships that have helped to grow your business or to get your word out there about who you are, what you do?
Oh, I work with other publicists all the time. Some publicists don't like working together. I don't mind. My thing is like if we can all get paid, I'm a happy camper. Because the bottom line, that's what it is. Because when we're indies, we're hustling. We're hustling for every dime that we make. We're hustling to keep a client, and we're hustling to make a relationship so they can come back to us. So you have to when a client leaves you, you have to make it a soft ending. Even if it didn't end right, you have to go. You have to say to yourself, of course I get upset and I'm mad, but you cannot show that. You have to say, you have to be professional 100% of the time. Never be unprofessional. And that's the key to growing your business and people coming back to you is how people leave you. That's the mark you're going to leave with them. So I always try to have a good notion, even if they're mad at me or whatever the case may be, I'm not mad. You can stay mad because I can only control what I do and what I say. So that's one of the things that I've always tried to is what I do. But I always try to work with other publicists and to let other publicists know because this is a cutthroat business and everybody wants to have like the best client and people have been known to steal. And there's publicists to this day that I know that you can't take around to your client. But it's been known and I've been told like they trust me enough. Like, okay, Monica, can you take my client down the red carpet? And I go, sure. And I've been asked to do it many times, and that lets me know they trust me enough to know Monica's not going to take my client. And that's what I like. And that means trust and loyalty. It's really trust more than loyalty. Trust me enough to know that I'm not going to steal your client, and that's what it's all about. And trust me enough that they will give me clients. They will give me clients so we can all work together. And I'm the type that if there's a big project, I outsource because I am only one. But I outsource and I work with other people all the time, and other people work with me so we can work together.